In this video, we're going to be talking about alignment. How do we get into alignment? What does alignment feel like? What does it look like? How do we know that we're in alignment? So without further ado, let's get into it. Hi and welcome back to Oaklaw Door. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Claire Attio. For those that are returning subscribers, thank you. And so the topic of this video is alignment. And the first question, the first phrase that I want to give you, the thing that my team have been kind of giving me and saying to me, and something that I have been working through and on for the past 10 years plus, is not what do I need to do, but who do I need to be? And it's interesting because this came up, which is why I'm doing the video. I had somebody reach out to me via LinkedIn a few weeks ago, and they said, okay, Claire, how do we do this? What is the secret sauce? And the secret sauce is being our soul sovereign selves. And that is why soul sovereignty has been such a passion of mine, because when I realized that, when I had the epiphany within my own life that I needed to peel off all those layers, and it's a lifelong peeling, because we keep taking it to greater depths. We find greater knowledge about who we are, what we are, where we're going, how we want to show up in the world, and the type of legacies that we want to leave. And that changes. That is forever evolving. That is forever changing. And some of you will go, oh my God, and not want to put that work in. And others will go, okay, let's take this on. Each of us are exactly where we are meant to be right in this moment. And those feelings, those thoughts are exactly right for you. There is no right or wrong in this. It's about where you are on your journey. And life is a journey. It's a open map, as it were. And yes, if you believe in the conception of destiny and the perception and the ideology around you actually coming to purposefully, consciously do something, create something with your power of co-creation with the divine in this lifetime, there will be different avenues for you to take. You will be sent down different paths, and that being sent is our own intuition, the nudges that we get when we're consciously aware of those nudges and how to listen out for them and when to see them. And I've said, if you follow me, I have said many times I use the rule of 3. And it was interesting because I was doing the card reading for tomorrow, as I'm recording this on Sunday. This is going out on the Tuesday. But the card reading that goes out on my Facebook page tomorrow, within that image on that card, there was a dream catcher. And this is something, and that was the 3rd time that it come onto my radar. And I was like, right, okay, I need to reach out to a Native American tribe and get myself a dream catcher. I used to have one. I bought one when I was in America. I bought one years ago. I don't know what's happened to it. It's one of those things when you keep moving house and things get lost, they get broken, and I've never actually replaced it. And I am being told that I need a new dream catcher, and so that is something. This morning I was like, okay, I've heard you, I've seen it 3 times, I know that is in alignment with what is needed for me. And that's a big part of the alignment journey. Getting yourself aligned is listening to those intuitions, listening to the heart space, because it's in the heart space that divine talks to us, our ancestors talk to us, God talks to us if you believe in God, or Allah, or Krishna, or whatever it is you believe in. That is when we're in that heart space. When we're in the head space, that's for logic, that's for planning, that's for creating, depending whether you're using the right or left hemisphere. We were never designed to stay there. The problem is modern culture and science has taught us to take everything up to here, but up to here is also where our ego is. And whilst ego is not a bad thing, we need ego because ego keeps us safe. Ego gives us our drive. Ego gives us our identity and our personality. Ego is what keeps us and helps us to be individual and unique. There needs to be balance. And that balance comes from listening to the heart brain and listening to that gut brain, because that gut brain is instinct. It's in the gut brain that we have that feeling, is it right? Right is light. And that's very important to remember as well. So when we have an inspiration from the head, it's then important to take it to the heart and the gut. How is my gut brain assessing this? Does it feel light and thus it's right, or is it feeling heavy? In which case I need to do a little bit of more exploration. It may not be that it's wrong, it just means that you may need some more information, or you may need to do something else first, or it could be that it's just not at this time. Or it may be because it's just not right, because you're running a program, you're running a fear, which is kind of brought that inspiration in. Our fears, our programs create limiting beliefs about ourselves. It's working through, which is why healing is such an important aspect of the life journey. I'm not going to say the spiritual journey, because and this takes me back to this past week when I was with a group, and with the first group I said, I was introduced myself, said what my background was, and with the first group I said that my background is holistic therapies, and there was a really good response. And then with the second group I said my background is in spirituality, and it was interesting to see that how words play a massive part, because instantly, as soon as I said spirituality, there was a, oh no, I'm not into that. And so it's important to look at our words. It's important to be truthful about ourselves. And it's important to understand that life is our spiritual ascension. Now, whether you want to step into that and take ownership of that straight off the bat, or whether you need to modify the language that you're using, alignment can often and does often have us looking at the terminology and the wording that we use so that we can go to the places and reach the people that we need to reach, that need and subconsciously desire the assistance to make the changes in their life, but they have barriers, they have limiting beliefs depending on the language that you use. And I hope those two paradigms, those two aspects that I've just given you with doing group work, because one, I said holistic, and I had a very positive approach to it, a very positive response to it, and the other one I said spirituality. And it's not about not being honest with what I'm doing, it's about being mindful about the terminology that I use, because the terminology, the words that we say, carry great importance, and they also carry vibrations. And for some people, those vibrations, like the word spirituality, can bring up and trigger within them very negative responses. So it's just it's just playing around. It's just being mindful of the words and the vibration that they're carrying as to how they are received. So if you are a holistic therapist and you have, like me, because it's all interconnected, and you've been using the words of spirituality and not getting a great reception, then try modifying your words. It's not about not being honest. It's not about not being aligned. It's about delivering the messages, delivering the assistance that you can actually give, delivering the inspirations in a way that is received rather than hitting a barrier. So that's one of the first things about alignment is, but when you're wanting to assist others into that process, but when it comes to personal alignment, it's about really knowing who you are, being that soul sovereign self. Who am I? What am I doing? Why am I doing it? Who am I? What am I doing? Why am I doing it? And we could all come up with beautiful ethoses and say, oh well, we're helping the planet and we're helping humanity, and I'm saying that very glibly. It's not a glib thing. We are here to be of service, but we're all here to be of service. It's not just a few chosen ones. Everybody is here to be of service because we are pack animals. So even if somebody is not part of your pack, that doesn't mean that you cannot learn from them. That doesn't mean that there isn't anything that they can give. If you feel that you're at a certain level, yes, we all need to, and we're all attracted to like energies, and so we build those circles of friendships that hopefully, if we've done that inner work and we've healed a lot of those wounds that had us playing into paradigms that weren't ours, that were actually given to us energetically, we will be surrounded by like-minded people. We will be supported by like-minded people. That doesn't mean that group over there that are running on a completely different frequency doesn't have something that they can teach us with. Everybody has something to offer. That's the first thing about alignment, is understanding that everybody has something to offer. And there's a lot that we can learn. But it's that getting stuck in that paradigm of what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Which is, again, that comes from here, and this is how we've been taught. When we were in school, we were all taught, okay, what's your plan? What are your objectives? Even with coaching, what's your plan? What are your objectives? How are you going to achieve them? And whilst that is very important, we always use SMART in coaching. Whilst that is very important, it's also equally important to understand who you want to be. How do you want to show up in the world? When we start focusing on who do we want to be, what we're meant to do tends to fall into place in a much more natural way. Those answers come in because we are being true to our soul sovereign self. We're gaining an understanding of who we are as a soul being, and we are walking in our personal truths. And let's remember, when we're talking about truth, truth is subjective. Truth is based on circumstance, knowledge, beliefs, perceptions of. And everybody's truth will be very individual and very unique to them. And their truth is right for them. And I think this is another place and a space where we also need to be very mindful, because there is a lot out there at the moment within culture, within society, that is saying, well, this is the right truth, and this is the right truth, and this is the right truth, and get in your boxes, stay in your lanes. And yes, we do need to stay in our lanes, but we don't need to stay in lanes that have been made. We need to create our lanes from our truth. We create our own lane. We don't look over our shoulders, and I've said this, I've done a whole video on this, of what is Joe Bloggs doing and how fast are they getting there. It's not about how fast anybody is getting there, whether they are behind you or before you. Those are just perceptions of competition and challenge. And the spiritual journey is not about that. The spiritual journey is taking that breath, taking it to the heart and going, who am I? Who do I want to be? And within that, who do I want to be, you will then have the inspiration of what you need to do. Not what do I need to do to be, but who do I need to be to do. The focus needs to be on you. The focus needs to be on your healing journey. The focus needs to be on releasing aspects of yourself that do not function for you, beliefs about yourself that just hold you back and create barriers. Being truthful about the way you want to communicate. Now, there are some people that will watch this and they want to speak about spirituality. It is right for them to speak about spirituality. There are other people that are going to be working with groups where the use of the language of spirituality is not useful. The end goal is the same. The end goal is raising that Christ consciousness, or raising the vibrations, depending on your belief systems. Again, it comes down to belief. It comes down to who you are as a person and what your purpose, mission, goal is, what it is you want to create on this planet and co-create with the divine on this planet as your legacy. Be honest with yourself, have a clear understanding, and know it will change, it will evolve. I've gone from speaking about holistic practices to being super focused on spiritual practices to now going back to holistic practices, and I'm not doing that because I'm being wafy or flaky or I don't know what I'm doing. I'm doing that because that's how I'm being guided through my connection to my ancestors, through my connection to the divine. That is how I'm being guided to take the next steps, to reach the people that I need to reach, and to learn from those people that I need to reach out to. It's that reciprocal energy. I'm not going into this new aspect, this new endeavor, thinking that I'm going in and I'm going to be able to help them do X, Y, Z, blah, 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 blah. I'm going in knowing full well that, okay, yeah, I'm going to be sharing and disseminating what I've learned thus far, knowing that they're going to help me learn aspects that have not been part of my life. And I'm not going to be bringing those aspects as part of my life, but I'm going to be bringing the knowledge of what those aspects do to a person, how they affect a person, how they affect the psyche, how they affect the mind, how they affect the body, how they affect life. Alignment is who do you want to be, not what do I not want to do. It's about learning about yourself, stepping into that, taking ownership. And it's not about perfection. It's not about how much knowledge you do have. Most of the most valuable knowledge we have to offer each other is the wisdom of experience. It's not about academic accolades. Are they helpful? Absolutely. Do they help you build a business? If you can put doctorate next to it, builds confidence in people. They instantly see that and they build confidence. But that doesn't mean that you're the best person to do that job. It means that you've got the academic accolade. You've got the academic knowledge. But let's not underestimate personal experience, life experience. They can teach us aspects of the academics that academics could never do. Some of the hiccups, some of the loops we can get stuck in. Some of the dilemmas that don't even come onto an academic sphere. How do you work through those? Your academic accolade will not give you the information of how to help that person with that given situation. Let's not underestimate. We can all learn from each other, but the focus should be for alignment, the focus of aligning yourself, of walking that north node, is doing that personal introspection, doing that healing, releasing what no longer serves you, understanding who you are, understanding what your passions are, where your strengths lie. Listening to your heart and your gut and your mind. Having those three-way conversations. And when we talk about passion and purpose, just before we finish up, it's really important that you choose something that brings you joy, that brings you hope, that brings you inspiration, that has you get creative. That's when we really bring in those divine elements and that divine energy, and our vibrations rise, making it easier for us to connect to the divine, to our ancestors, to get that information, to bring past life knowledge forward. Be your true, authentic, sovereign self. That is what will get you into alignment. That is what will get you living a life of joy, happiness, and purpose. If you've liked the video, then hit that like button. If you feel you know somebody that would benefit from viewing this, please by all means share it. If you've not yet subscribed, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and that will notify you when new videos come up and are posted. I said come up. I hesitated then. Are posted. And blessings to you all. Bye bye.